Hey fellas, how you doing? This video is going to be about do you have to be willing to fight? Last night, my wife asked me to talk to one of her friends who is a single mother. Her husband used to be I can't remember if it's an ICE agent or a Border Patrol agent, and she has a boy who is 13. And he got beaten up because he wouldn't fight back. And his mother had been telling him for the longest time that he shouldn't fight and he should just go away and tell that somebody was being mean to him. And unfortunately, and I hope this isn't new news to any of you guys, especially you girls, you're going to have to fight sometimes. And so I took him out, walked him around here in the backyard, just like we're doing right now, talking to him about different stuff and how it started and that. He's humiliated because he got a black eye and a fat lip out of it, and he never threw a punch. He just stood there and let the guy punch him in the face a couple times. Once on the eye and once in the mouth. Cried, and now that young man has to live with that at 13 till he gets out of school, unless they move away. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told him, and I'm going to talk to him probably a couple more times and get him in. I'm going to take him down and get him into one of the classes and pay for a year for him to get into MMA. Now, I'm trying not to be upset, but it is just, you're going to have to fight sometimes. And there is a point in time when you're posturating yourself or posturing, somebody gets into your face. If people can yell at me and say anything, but if you, escopete is a shotgun. If, esculpe, it's spitting, I'm saying. Someone spits on you or someone touches you, or if I think you're going to touch me, I'm definitely going to hit you first. You got to make sure you keep breathing during this whole process. In through the nose, out the clenched teeth. They have a mouthpiece on you. I gave him a mouthpiece last night, told him how to, put in hot water in the microwave, put it in the microwave, and not the mouthpiece, but when the water comes out hot, put the, there are so many young men out there that aren't taught about the realities of the world we live in. I'm going to go inside. It's actually cold. I may have to conquer the pool today, but I'm going to wait till the sun gets a little bit higher. And he's just sheepishly. He wouldn't really make any eye contact with me. When he shook my hand, he didn't make eye contact with me. And those are some of the things that I can help him with. But unfortunately, there are a lot of things that men are expected to do that unless you have a father figure or somebody that's looking out for you, you just won't get taught them. And they're not things that are commonplace for women. So, and I'm not knocking her for being a single mom, or I'm not trying to say she deserved to be whatever happened to her while she got divorced. That's not the point of this. The point of this is there's a young man at the end of all of her decisions. And that young man currently can't defend himself. And yes, I'll get a good deal from the academy that I'm going to send him to, because I send a lot of people there. Again, if you're going to get into a fight, I expect you to hit the person first. I don't care what anybody tells you. If anybody tells you, oh, that's not right, and da-da-da, fuck that. And you should have at least 3 or 4 punches you're going to throw at the face, eyes, nose, mouth, neck, temple, if you can think of that, forehead, in the ear. It should be at least 4 punches. And one of the other things, you have to keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. Even if it's like that, just keep breathing. And don't be surprised when you get hit. That's one of the things that sparring will help you out with, enormously as a young man, because in the movies and all that kind of stuff, the good guy, just beats everybody up, and maybe he gets cuffed or something like that. But anyways, so my complete disagreement with the way a lot of single mothers, not a lot of single mothers, some single mothers raise their kids is they teach them to tell. And that's not how you make your way through life as a man. Um, I just don't believe in ratting somebody out for, well, if it's something seriously illegal or somebody beats the shit out of somebody, yeah, of course you should tell. Anyways, the other boys, there were two of them. One was just blocking the door, and it happened in the boys' bathroom. And that's kind of where it happens, because they're not supposed to put cameras in there. So I would rather see you fight and lose or win. Hang on, I have to pause. I'm to the point to where I'm coughing all that stuff out of my lungs, and when I breathe in heavy, I get that little extra. You can feel it breaking free the phlegm in that. So hang on one more time. And what I was getting at is shame, self doubt. Those are things that if you get your ass beat and you never even tried to fight back, those are things that can turn a guy. It can be a very dark path for that young man. So we want to get him and get his confidence built back up. And he needs to know, knowing how to defend yourself is your responsibility as a man. And if you can't find somebody to, and if you don't have someone in the family to teach you, you need to find someone who actually knows how to fight to teach you. Everything from your footwork. I know it may sound stupid, and there's a thing, you draw a cross on the ground for your footwork for boxing, and you're either a southpaw, means you lead with your right hand, or you're a traditional boxer and you lead with your left hand. And it depends on in those four corners of that box, that triangle, that's the X that you're making. It's not a cross, it's an X. Anyways, it's just, I'm getting way off the subject. One of the ways he will have the ability in probably a year to erase that shame is if he gets into another fight and he can defend himself. Or word will get around that he's going to that academy, and there's probably maybe 10 people in that school that go to that academy, and they're not going to let one of their people get beat up. That's another thing, is having a extended set of brothers and sisters who can fight. That's also hopeful. So I have to cough, so hang on again. So, I'm not saying this like I'm the god of war or anything like that, but you have to fight. And you're going to be, as a man, at a minimum, you're going to be in 6 violent confrontations during your lifetime. Fighting is a perishable skill. I still do my boxing drills. I still lift weights. I still practice my traditional karate katas. Karate kata. Anyways, doesn't matter. Ishinru, karate katas, seisan. Anyways, practice those. It's a lot of stretching and a lot of different stuff. And breathing is more important than you may believe. Even if you're trying to get away, if you can't breathe, if you're not breathing, you're holding your breath, you're going to gas out a lot easier. Maybe not be able to get away. So I hope this makes sense. And if you have to fight, you punch him dead in the mouth, dead in the nose, and then you just keep swinging. Just keep swinging. 3, 4 punches, maybe back off. If there's somebody coming in the other way, put your hand up here to guard your face. Your hand and your arm can take the impact. You don't get hit in the temple, or, you got to learn to bob and weave. They're all perishable skills that have to be worked on. Along with carrying a knife. You can't just hey, hang on, I need to get my knife out. You need to be able to practice deploying the knife and getting it in the fight. So I hope this makes sense. I continue to be absolutely shocked that there are 2 groups, for the most part, of guys that have no clue about fighting, and that's some being protecting somebody or protecting yourself is somebody else's responsibility. That's some authority figure's responsibility. And you have the guys that grew up fighting and they're wrestling and those kind of things. So it is what it is. The world's not going to change, and you're either going to adapt to it to thrive, or you're going to adapt to it just to survive. I hope you pick to thrive, and that means you're going to have to fight. All right. Love you guys. Stay safe and healthy. Take care of each other if you can. And if you can't, you have to take care of yourself. Shame, guilt, and doubt are personality killers, in my opinion. Even if you lose, you know that you're going to fight back, and they're not going to mess with you anymore. They're going to move on to somebody else. All right? Like a fort in a G-string. From West Texas, El Paso. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.